We'll go ahead and open up the workshop. 8:30 on Friday the 9th, just for the record, opening up the board workshop. Anybody want to go first?
I'm happy to.
Okay.
What the heck? I just have things that I thought were gonna be on the agenda and they're not, so I want to
Okay.
talk about them. One is
Sure.
the fence.
Mm.
Do we have,
No, can you put it?
where are we with the fence?
So we were supposed to meet last week, but we had some scheduling issues and everything. So what we wanted to do was we're gonna meet, my calendar is a little bit of a mess this week. So we're gonna meet on Friday and talk about it. I did see the notification that Ajax is looking for a variance.
They got it.
They got the variance.
That's what I
Okay.
wanted to bring up. They got the variance. They now have a continuous fence all the way around their new property.
Okay,
So there's no reason that we shouldn't be granted the same variance and just do a continuous fence up there.
okay, all right. That's what I wanted to make sure you guys were good with. So we'll measure for a fence and then.
I'll call the guy to make sure that, the city guy to make sure that that is.
I would get on the planning
Right.
committee's
They
agenda.
didn't even ask a single question, the planning board.
Yeah.
They didn't?
It went through so fast.
Okay,
that
so-
there's no reason.
I'm not even sure I'd ask.
Yeah, no, I think we should just get the
I'm-
quote.
Okay.
Honestly, I agree with you. It's a small piece.
I would tell.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cheryl, and are you guys okay then if we go ahead and move forward with going to the planning commission and saying we are putting in a fence
We
with?
haven't actually voted to have a fence yet, have we?
No, we have not. But we still have to go to the planning commission in order to
No,
even.
no,
Yeah.
I appreciate the process.
Well, let's go to the planning
Well,
commission, make
can
sure we
we-
can do it before we.
Well, even if.
Do we need
can't-
to go to the planning commission? I don't.
We will for a fence.
For the
Yeah,
variance.
for the
If they want
variance. If we're gonna ask for a variance, we should go to the
Or
planning
we do it and
commission.
ask for forgiveness later, which is what I'm hearing, but it doesn't matter to me. It's not that big of a deal when you consider the circumference of the new Ajax plant.
Yeah.
It's gigantic.
Yeah.
So they're expanding it, and that's why they want this continuous fence, but they got approved so fast that there's no reason we wouldn't get approved.
So, but to Ken's point though, because the second meeting in the month is going to be a workshop and we can't take a vote,
I think we should talk about it
we should
today.
talk about it and take a vote today.
And here's why. It is one of the things that I have to talk about on the 16th.
Okay,
And I would
Okay,
like
very good.
some direction
Right.
before I open my mouth.
Yes.
So, yeah. Okay, so that's one. Second is bocce. I know you all got the email as well, and I've talked to a couple of people about bocce who would like some input on, is it a permanent court? Is it not a permanent court?
right.
Is it, and so you know what, remember we did a subcommittee for the dog park?
Yes.
I'm wondering if we should just ask for volunteers and do a quick subcommittee on bocce so we get everybody's opinion.
I think it's so preliminary. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna vote no, regardless of what to come back to until we decide what we're doing with the Sala.
That's true.
So I think it's really.
Which is, but I think that's why a subcommittee makes a ton of sense, because it shows that we're moving forward. We're getting community input. Those subcommittees don't take 1 month, as you know,
No,
because
I-
you were on it. But it's gonna take several months for not a subcommittee, a work group, to discuss. Because I'm in favor of bocce. I think it's a community, I think the community is kind of really requesting it. I think the question becomes, does it make sense? And where would it go? Are they removable courts? Are they permanent courts? Which answers the question about La Sala.
Right.
I just think we should give the people who play bocce, I've only played one, not here. I think we should give them an opportunity to have input. And I think this is a good way to do it. Because otherwise, if we move forward with something, we don't give them an opportunity to have input, it's going to be worse.
Well, I'm not saying I give them input, but I'm just saying it's just so. We have to figure out, my feeling is the Sala's gotta get built, and that's next summer at best, maybe.
Well, let me throw out there though, and
So we can't do anything until after that happens, so it's a year and a half in advance.
I hear you, and I hear you. I hear exactly what you're saying, Rich. And one of the things I was going to talk about, La Sala, is we're very close to having some preliminary numbers, and we were going to have, once we get those, it'll probably be between this meeting and, well, it will be between this meeting and the next meeting. And there'll be some individual discussions with you by a couple of the group members. And that hopefully will inform on a number. So at least if we're informed on a number, then maybe it will help further the discussions on La Sala, so at least if that's beginning to move a little bit, maybe, does that help you on?
I mean, after, I just don't want to waste people's time on going to a workshop to make it work.
But see, right now, people are clamoring for it. Okay, so I'm gonna be completely candid here. When we did the dog walk thing, I was 90% sure there was no place in this community for that dog park, but I needed to make sure that the community had a voice in it and understood how it happened.
I mean,
That's all
fine.
I'm saying.
If you don't want, I mean, I'm not gonna object to that.
It's gonna take months for a work group to work through
I
it.
don't know, I just don't feel like
And then-
wasting their time and
I don't think
coming
it's,
up with all these things until we have a better idea of what we're doing. I'm just looking at their point of view, because I don't wanna give them a false sense of hope, they're gonna come back, oh, our
so
recommendation.
you're
is to
saying
put-
just do nothing and wait until La Sala and then,
Well, at least if we understand what's going on with the Sala. Because if we're not gonna do a big renovation, we're probably at least going to extend the patio and fence it in.
Well, could we add it into the
What-
survey?
I was gonna suggest that.
what would you add in? Just do you want it or don't you want it? Or do you think we should have courts?
Yeah. Well, we
there's-
could talk about
Well,
it.
there's permanent, there's
would you
private
want?
bocce, I mean, there's bocce permanent courts versus people being able to play bocce, so we have to be very careful how we ask that question.
Exactly.
I
Right,
mean, I have no problem, I have no issue with people playing bocce. It's putting a permanent court and spending the money and then creating an issue with everything else we've got going on.
But I don't think that, I kind of agree with Cheryl here, because I don't think there's any drawback in having a work group to determine, like, what is the interest? If there is an interest, does it make sense to do? And then just get a little bit of feedback from the work group to understand what we're looking at from a bocce ball perspective. Because I'll tell you, I really like the idea when we did the dog park work group. It was a great conversation. We got a great cross group of people, the pluses and the minuses, and a lot of stuff got worked out. So I'm not against having the work group, and I agree it might be,
I just don't wanna waste people's time, but if you wanna do it, I'm not gonna stop
But-
that.
but if the work group comes back and says not at this time, that would be okay as well.
Right.
And then at least we'd have the feedback from the work group to say, this doesn't make sense. Now, we would have to make sure that the work group understood what was happening here at the River Club with La Sala and everything. But I don't think it would hurt to get a cross group of people. So, and I'd be happy to do that work group for bocce if you would like.
Permanent.
Fine with me.
Okay.
Regardless of what we do with La Sala, isn't there room for at least 2 courts out there?
Well, it's also the noise factor.
Would we want to, I'm sorry?
Depending upon where we put them,
Yeah.
yes.
And it's the noise factor,
Is that starting?
what the sound was gonna be.
Or would you rather do
I'd
nothing
rather
and
do
wait?
the work group.
well, I think you're right,
Some
Rich.
people don't think
I
we should.
don't, that's what I'm
I
saying,
think
there's so
such a
many,
mixed-
No, I agree.
there's so many open questions.
And I think that would be a great thing for the work group to talk about is, what direction is the River Club headed? Are we, is this something that we want to add? Is it going to be too much noise? What kind of experience do we want here? And is that going to take away from the experience? I think these are all questions that the work group could ask.
So we have to put out the way we did for the dog park, is I put out a little note saying if you want to be on this work group to discuss bocce. And when I interviewed people, I made sure I had people who were for it, against it,
Right.
didn't care.
Right.
The whole gamut, so that we had a nice discussion.
Just a good cross group of people. And did you coordinate that with Keith or did you?
I coordinated it with Keith, he put the notice out for me,
Okay.
and then I would have Matt on it, obviously,
Yes.
since he's coordinating.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I just think it
Okay.
can't hurt.
Okay. So I can take that and start working with it.
And
So
just,
that-
and I went back to last year's survey,
Mhm.
and there was only 2 mentions of bocce
Really.
in the entire survey.
Oh,
So just let you know that.
oh,
Probably
interesting. I was
Dan
gonna do that.
And, and one person said, I like going to the club, and one of the bocce notes was, I like coming to the club for dinner after I play bocce. And the other person said, I looked a few weeks ago, something about a bocce, a better bocce court, or smoother grass or something, but no, there was 2 mentions of bocce, and only one person really
Sure.
discussed bocce itself.
And Sim, when you do it, and I'm sure you will, but I just have to say, I think we'll want to make sure we're not promising bocce courts.
No.
That the board's considering
No.
whether.
Consider,
Yes,
for
just-
consideration
for-
of bocce.
Right. Do you have your email from the,
I have a Doug
From-
Park folder, let me go look at it.
Okay.
I might-
okay, that'd be great,
It's in there somewhere.
because I'll just change dog park to bocce court.
So good. I think you have to put it on the agenda.
Yeah.
To get it work group approved.
Yeah, so I'll add it to next,
I would add it today.
add it to today's agenda, okay.
Okay.
And then we have to add fence too.
Yep, I
tried
got
to-
that.
I tried to email Elise and say, can you put the fence back on? I think we have to be careful when we don't finish a topic that it
I
doesn't
know.
completely go away, and I think that's probably a training issue. Because there are a couple of things that didn't really get resolved, but they didn't come back because nobody said put them on. And I'm used to them just staying there
Right, me too,
Yeah.
because that's what was
So-
happening. I
Right.
think that's what was happening.
until we resolved it.
Right.
So I think we just maybe have to talk, maybe even next time to Belinda about how
Okay.
do we do this. Siltadella, I just want to say 2 words about Siltadella. Having talked with a number of people now about Laurel Road, or people in I care to talk about Laurel Road, it's clear that when that road gets, not necessarily when the road gets widened, because that's gonna start probably in the spring, but when the shopping center starts, we are gonna have to do something with Siltadella, making it an entrance exit, but I
Yeah, we always
think
try to.
timing is a big deal, and so I have a feeling that's gonna come up, and I just wanted to
I
make the
think
board
we
aware.
really need to get a study on what's going on with Salo to do that. Because if you're gonna have a lot more people coming,
I think half of them will be going the other way, they're just not gonna wanna come in the front.
Correct.
but a lot more people are gonna come to the back way. They're gonna go down, down Paseo to Portofino to Bella Vista. You're gonna get a lot more people now coming that way. Obviously, people who are, look up at Cordova are gonna make a left and go up and around. But anybody who, I can't think of the street name.
But if you're gonna
Yeah.
exit taking a left, you'd rather come out Siltadella and go to that
Right.
stoplight that's gonna be there, take a
Correct.
left on Jack Randall.
And I didn't mean to start the discussion, because it's way off.
Right.
I mean, that shopping center is
No,
years
no,
off.
no.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say if it comes up on the 16th, my response will be, of course, we're gonna consider it, but we have to wait until we have more information.
16, yes.
Okay, sorry.
It's always
Thank you,
been-
that's it for me, sorry.
Okay. We could just say that, the board continues to monitor and
You know what,
discuss,
the only
yeah.
thing that's constant is
I didn't
change,
want to
Rich.
surprise
No.
anyone.
And
No.
density is density, and we have
I
to
know, but there's.
do it, I hear you, but
You gotta drop the salad on Monday mornings,
Yeah.
you can't get through.
my opinion, I don't disagree with that, but my opinion is the only thing that's constant is change.
Mhm.
And we cannot inconvenience 2,000 other people in this community for 500. We've got to think about the entire community as a whole. And as much as I'd like to say, yes, Pissarro could be an issue, I don't think it's going to be as big of an issue as you think. But topic for another day,
Okay. Who wants to go next? Anybody? Workshop.
Going to talk about the survey, I know you mentioned bocce. I was gonna ask if we want to talk about, or ask about people's consideration of the Welcome Center
Oh.
in terms of
Mhm.
resident interest in A, purchasing, B, long-term lease, C, do nothing.
I think it's gonna be tough without a number.
I think so too, and I think the response I got at just a small meeting made it clear that it's not something we should talk about on the 16th, because we don't know anything yet. And so,
I think it would be so big, we probably wouldn't want to bury it in this regular survey, but I don't know.
we haven't gotten any response, right?
Well, I was gonna give an update, which I can do now.
Sure.
Interestingly enough, so first of all, they came back and said they had no assessments or reports or any other information they can share with us about the center or the condition of it. But in this last communication, it was brought out that they've now got a couple of interested parties in buying it again. And I went back and said, I thought you said it wasn't for sale. And And they said, well, these were like, he framed it as these were like unsolicited,
Oh,
interested parties. So they are supposedly talking to a couple of interested parties about purchase. So I don't know if that means we could also become an interested party if we want to go that route. But he also said they want to leave the door open to a long-term lease, which is still an option for them.
That kind of leaves us in the middle of
I know.
nowhere.
And you know what, there's gonna be so many other meetings that happen before we get an answer. I still think it's premature.
yeah, I think us jumping in right
I just
now
think
is
we're
really
just-
bad. And
we're
even
just
putting it in the survey
looking.
indicate,
I agree.
is gonna give them information we may not want them to have, because it's public.
Right.
I'm just nervous about it. If somebody comes and gives an offer and we're just sitting here, we don't do anything. That makes me really very nervous.
Well, there's
I'm
so
not-
many restrictions on zoning on it, there's not many things that could happen up there that,
There are not that many restrictions on it, from my understanding.
there
Fair amount.
are a fair
I
amount.
mean, I know it can't be a gas station, but that's,
No, there's other things. It has to be, well, it has to be conducive to the community, but we thought the same thing about this.
And
Yeah,
the
so-
surrounding
so-
area.
So conducive,
And the
so
surrounding area.
a 7-Eleven is conducive.
Well, except it also is clear that you cannot put signage out on Laurel Road related to it. That's in there as well. So that limits a 7-Eleven kind of thing.
But if you clear everything and you see it, you don't necessarily see the sign. I mean, I don't know, it's
I
just-
know, anything can be
That,
overridden.
that piece of property is just plopped down in the middle of our community,
No,
right?
it's not in the middle.
It's a good perimeter.
But is there any piece of that property that touches something outside the CDD owned property?
Sure.
What section?
No,
Sidewalk.
no,
No, well,
No, it's an island
it's an island.
within the
It is
CBD
an island.
property.
It
And,
is,
and the
yeah.
reason I'm asking that is, and I don't know if this is possible or not, this might be pie in the sky, is, Venice is famous for annexing properties that are islands.
They annex outside the city is what they do.
Could we, CDD, annex? I know, it's an outlandish thought.
No, it's not
It's
crazy.
interesting, yeah,
We could ask Andy.
yeah.
But I don't think we're considered a municipality.
If we're not considered that type of municipality, but we're a government. So I don't know
We're a
where
special,
that,
we're a special taxing
We're
district.
special.
okay, so
Taxing
I don't
district.
know where our boundaries exists.
That's a,
That's an Andy question.
Well,
Okay, I'm just
I
throwing
think
it out
that,
there.
I think that we can, because I believe we annexed this, or whatever the legal term is, from WCI.
For the River Club?
Yes.
but then we can add,
Because I'll tell you why I know
but that
that.
they bought it.
was, that was a purchase.
they
Well,
bought it.
it was,
It
but
was.
it's because if you look at the River Club Master Declaration, it has the engineering coordinates in it. So maybe we ask Andy and,
If
Okay.
that's the case, we can annex the golf course too.
don't even start.
Don't
that
even
rumor.
start
I'm just-
that.
I'm just- I'm just-
Don't even
I'm-
say that.
but,
I'm
you know,
just tossing it out there, pie in the sky, thinking what we can do to protect that
Sure,
space.
Pie in the sky's good.
Okay.
Ask
Yeah, so
Andy,
that's
you're
my,
in charge.
that's my, yeah, that's my goal, is protecting this, protecting that space from
Yeah,
Right,
sure, you're
exactly.
right, you're
from
right.
bad development.
Exactly,
Um,
that's right.
Andy, that question? I mean, you're the welcome center.
I'd be happy if we just knocked the thing down and put a park in. I don't care.
Let's just offer them pay the half of a bulldozer. We probably can't though, because it's not on our property.
Right.
We could get donations. I'd pay.
But then it still leaves an empty property that somebody can now build from scratch whatever they want. So
Yeah, I hear you.
That's even
not-
worse.
That's even worse.
Yeah. Okay.
If we bought it and raised it, I'd have no problem with that.
Yeah, I'm with you, Rich. That would be my first choice.
Yeah,
But
Or dog park.
Mine too.
that would be the
when the
dog.
city annexes, do they get any input from the residents that they're annexing, or is it just?
Well, you can always go and make a
Eminent domain.
comment, but I believe when they've annexed, it's been from county property. They have annexed from what is governed by the county.
And this is technically, this is private property.
Yeah.
Okay, then maybe we can.
But that's an
Sure.
Andy question. I'm not a
Yeah,
lawyer and I
yeah.
don't pretend to be one. So it's a question.
Eminent domain?
I don't think we have
That
that.
one we definitely don't
But
have.
but again, you knock it down and then somebody can build whatever they want.
Right, right,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, well, may as well ask. Interesting. Do you have anything else?
No.
Okay. Sam?
No, I'm good, thank you. Nothing in the workshop today.
No, I have a few laundry list things.
Okay.
I'll just start at the top. Oh, and before I forget, Greg, because we chatted yesterday or the day before, I'm losing track of which. After the River Club piece, Greg is gonna have to bolt, because he's got a couple of irons in the fire, so just want to let you all know that. Did we need to do anything on the delinquent accounts for another donor?
I am working on them and I talked with them and there's a whole backstory that I'm not gonna share on record.
No, please don't.
And so, yeah, we'll get it figured out. They're very
Okay.
willing to work with
Great,
us.
okay, cool, perfect. But something popped in my head, and it was a question Alex at the front desk had asked me. There are two couples who are renting a home, and so they're renting, and it's a whole big mishmash with, there's an ACH account, but one of them pays with a credit card, and blah, 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 and it's a whole big mess. So my question is, do we need to do a run through the system for all tenants and make sure all tenants have a credit card on file and no longer ACH? Should we do that?
I think so.
It's a good idea. Mhm.
So is that something we can run and, okay, then we probably would need some kind of a communication with tenants saying, there was a rule passed, it's credit cards only.
I'm happy to do that since I've been
Okay.
working with accounting. If you get me, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
If you give me the list of people and I can try and do that, what were you gonna say, Cindy?
I have a question in regard to delinquent accounts. Do we allow delinquent account holders to have private events?
Their accounts are suspended.
So if they come in and they say they want to do something and have this small party, and can they sponsor a
No.
private event?
No,
That's a good question for Greg, because he's the one who would be handling them. But I don't
Well,
think
if
so.
their
If their
account
account
is
is
suspended.
suspended, they
So-
can't do any of that.
no, we don't do
Yeah.
sponsorships. I
So we
mean,
don't do sponsorships, okay,
No.
okay.
No,
We need to look into that party that happened on Saturday afternoon here then. I'd like to take a look at that BOE, because that may be an issue that we need to address.
Okay.
Yeah,
interesting. Well, and it begs the issue whether, well, anyway.
anyways, okay, thank you.
Cool. Okay, so those were those two things. I'm just gonna work my way down the list. Carol McGrail cannot join if she was gonna, sorry, I'm babbling, I need coffee. For the financial review that we were doing for the second meeting of the month, in other words, for March. I don't know, did we want Carol for that, or were we just gonna talk through the financials ourselves?
Oh, I would love to have Carol if she could be here, but if she can't.
She can't for that one,
Okay.
so I would think,
Call in.
I don't know, I could ask. So I'll ask her, but she is available for May 8th for the
Oh,
workshop.
perfect, great.
Okay, 3:23, call in. I'll find out, and if she can't, she can't. I'll let Belinda know then on 5/8, if Carol can make it then, she'll ask Belinda too, because Belinda's not gonna make it today, because she'll be online. We can confirm the May 8th workshop maybe. Okay, 5/8.
Just an FYI.
Yeah.
I won't physically be here for
Okay,
the May 23rd meeting, the workshop. I'm hoping to be able to,
March 23 or May 23?
March.
March 23, okay. Okay.
I'm
3:20.
hoping to be able to call in.
Okay, yep, well, I'll have my little squawk box. Cool. Speaking of calendars, I'm gonna be in the ladies golf tournament Wednesday. Is there a chance you can do the social and dining meeting for me?
This Wednesday,
Yeah.
I'll be in Puerto Rico.
Oh, good for you.
That's why I'm going to Tampa this afternoon.
Oh, good for you.
I'm going to Puerto Rico.
Good
Gentlemen,
for you.
Can either one of you join the social dining committee meeting at 10 a.m. on Wednesday? Either Ken or Rich?
I
We've
can't.
got a reserve meeting.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
I've got my
No
family
worries.
coming on
Oh, good for
Thursday,
you.
so like.
No worries, I'll let Darlene know. Where's Darlene? Somebody send up the dogs. Okay. All right, I'll let Darlene know. No worries.
Otherwise I'd do it.
No, I appreciate it. And I spaced out on it, last meeting. Let's see. So I wanted to raise, but I think we've got some time. I was looking through the charters again. And I noticed that there's still some lack of charters being conformed. For example, I think it's the facilities committee removal of members says committee members may be removed and replaced by a majority vote of the committee members and approval of the CDD board. So this charter gives them the right to replace the members, which is not a right they have.
Okay,
So I don't know whether you've had a chance to look at yours
I have not looked at that.
and
I
conform.
can discuss it. I mean, if it's against the charter, the committee doesn't have to discuss it, it's a moot point. So,
Well, I don't know that that's correct. It's a question I had for Andy.
Okay.
Because the chart, because we ratified the charters.
well, if the board doesn't want to do it, then that's a board decision, not a committee decision, so.
Well, I'm not so sure. I think it's a question for Andy. Because I think the charter also provides protections, at least according to my AI act.
Well, the board appoints them, and I think the board removes them.
I think
The
that,
committee can recommend either way.
I
Right.
think that's what that allows. The committee can recommend, they
Well,
can vote on it and recommend, but I
It
think,
says replaced,
But- but we still have to approve it.
yeah, which I guess we must have. But my point is, I think that it might be good, not that I want to go through this whole charter thing again, but that if there was a conformed sentence or paragraph, in each charter that talks about composition of the committee.
Everyone should be the same. I mean, it should be up to me to discuss with the committee. It should be for us to discuss.
Yeah, 'cause it,
This is the charter for all the committees, and maybe the section about exactly what they do.
so maybe you can just take
changes.
that out, because like on the facilities, it says committee members may be recommended for removal by a majority vote of the committee members and approval of the CDD board, which is standard stuff. It's this
But
section, it's this section.
But the committee doesn't discuss the charter. The committee only works with, the committee doesn't change the charter.
Well, no, that's not correct.
Yeah, they have to
That's
follow,
not correct.
right.
No, I thought
No, in the past, typically what's happened, I've chaired a lot of advisory committees, and typically when you do the organizational meeting in January and you elect the officers, you also look at the charter and
Okay.
see if you want to change the charter. So, I think out of respect for the committee, we probably should say, we're changing the charter, but what I think you're saying is, the board just takes charge of the charter. We'll just want to verify that with Andy.
Yeah.
And yeah, we need to verify that with Andy, because when I spoke with Dan Lewis a couple of weeks ago, he said if it's written in the charter that way, that needs to be the sequence of events.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right. The
so,
charter
I
provides
don't,
protections.
all the
Yeah.
charter should be the same. I don't think that anybody.
Yeah, that
should-
is not what that I just pulled the template up.
uh-huh.
I wonder if, since I wrote the template, do you want me to go through all the charters? And just, the only thing that should change in the charters is the very top that says the mission
Yeah.
statement.
Right.
Everything else should be identical.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you want me just to go through the charters and check them? Because I had to go back and look again to say that.
You don't
Yeah.
mind?
If you don't
No,
mind.
I don't mind.
And
I'll
then-
just, I'll
and
put it
then-
on my list.
And then if.
It'll be my summer
Then if
project.
we have to vote, then if we have to vote on it, we vote on it. If not,
Right.
The committee will then vote on it.
Right.
Because the way this was, I did that on purpose so that the only thing the committee really had to do was the mission statement.
Right.
Nothing else.
Cool.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, okay, cool.
So, Are you done with that conversation?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
I think I actually got everything on my list.
I'm gonna circle back to that delinquent accounts.
Okay,
That event that happened on Saturday afternoon was sponsored by a delinquent account.
that's not good.
A suspended
And-
account?
Yeah, and so what happened was, and I think this is where the confusion came in, several weeks ago, I discovered that that individual actually had 2 River Club numbers,
Oh,
and one of them showed that it was deactivated, and then I found the second one, and it was active, so I sent Greg an email asking him to deactivate that account as well, or no charging or whatever. So when I'm looking at this, that appears to be what happened. That right there.
Well, how does one household have 2?
I don't know. That's a great
Should we
question.
not eliminate one of them?
Well, we had 2 accounts at one point. When
No,
Joe-
just kidding.
when
Joe,
Joe-
yeah, that's
yeah.
right.
So we had 2, and I had
That's
to come up and straighten that out.
right.
Because all of his other cards were still working,
Yeah.
I was very confused.
Yeah,
So
so,
it can happen.
so I'm just letting you know, Greg, that did happen against that delinquent account, but it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was the one that was active that I didn't catch until after, obviously, this was bought.
and I'm sure that's, when staff,
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I have a question. So if somebody has a credit card on file, how do we know it's active? And 2, how do we not know it's maxed out?
No.
it's a
Somebody
good
charge
point.
it.
It's a
There's
good
no way.
point. But I think ultimately though, the homeowner, if you're talking about a renter,
Mhm.
that the homeowner's still on the hook.
Okay.
So do I need to make a copy of this and
That's
send it to all
The
of you?
bottom line, because those are the calls that I made and those delinquencies.
Right, to
Doesn't
owners.
matter to the owner.
Staying with what if, a lot of these events are booked months in advance? What if they had booked it when they were not under suspension?
Yeah, I don't know, but well, so I don't know, we'd have to go see when the booking actually took place.
Just don't know
Right.
what the action would be.
Well, I think,
That'd be a good way to get them to pay out.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, that's what I was thinking, throw the delinquent amount onto the credit card that paid this.
Not even that. Say, you got a party here next week. You wanted to go through or not? You gotta pay a delinquent account, otherwise you're canceled.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a big number.
It's over $1,200.
It's a big number for
That's a
our
big number.
account. We don't have many accounts like that.
That's the event.
And how much are
Oh,
they,
the
how much are they
event.
delinquent?
I have to
That I
say-
don't know, you'd have to,
Sorry, what?
How much of the delinquency is it?
you want me to look? I can look,
Is
I
it
just,
big, small? Any idea?
There aren't any that I looked at that are that big right now.
Okay, all right.
So,
Okay, that's fine.
did he pay it? That's kind of the.
Well, what we probably should do is send some kind of a letter.
Well, they have a letter.
Do they?
That they were suspended? I hope so.
We don't get those from,
We don't, but the resident should have a letter.
we're supposed to get 3069. or
yeah, so
69.
that was booked under that second account that I had asked you just to deactivate, I think it was last week, if I'm not mistaken, when I stumbled on
We
it.
deactivated it, the second.
Yeah, the second account, but that's what the
But this was
BOE,
already booked.
that was what the BOE was booked under, not that other primary account.
Okay.
Yes.
Hmm,
Mhm.
that was crafty.
I would say so. All right, so the delinquency is 875.
Wow, okay, so it's not,
Got the mother
so it's
daughter.
not 2 grand,
That's the, yeah, that's the mother-daughter.
so it's 2 grand now.
Mhm.
The mother-daughter had an event?
The,
No, I don't think so.
No, it wouldn't.
it was an event, yes, it was an event for a baby shower that they sponsored for somebody
Or
else.
somebody else, okay.
Mhm.
I'm gonna see if it was paid on
And-
by credit card.
And we don't,
and there
we
are
don't
two
do
accounts.
those. I mean, we're not
But it's-
sponsoring other people. We're not doing that.
No, but she just held the event. I can come up and say I'm having an event,
True,
right? And
yeah.
it can be for my daughter-in-law. for her.
Oh, no,
And
absolutely.
that's probably what
And
that
as long, and as long
was.
as.
That's exactly
and as
what
long as
that
they
was.
paid for it,
And
it's,
they paid for it, their delinquency, I could have told you exactly what it was, I didn't know that's who you were talking about.
Yes,
I also figured out they had two accounts because I spent time with Jessica and said, I
Yes.
don't understand this. I do understand it now because I had a very long conversation with them and there is a backstory. And they are gonna take care of it and the delinquency, so.
okay,
I'm
Okay,
gonna allow them to make 3 payments
oh, okay,
because, and
so, but they couldn't afford
I'm
800
asking for your
They couldn't
trust.
afford three,
Yeah.
three late payments, but now they could charge $1,200.
But they didn't pay that,
Got it, okay,
somebody else paid it, okay,
or theoretically something was paid, okay,
Okay.
we hope, okay.
I have to say, I don't think we should be doing that. I don't think if
How-
my sister-in-law, wants to have a party for her friends here and I sponsor it, I don't think we should be doing
How
that.
do you know if it's,
How do you know?
how do you know whose party is for?
Who's paying?
yeah, but I could have a party here and it could be for my friend's birthday
Yeah,
who doesn't
what's-
live here. I don't think that's something we
If
should
you're a
govern.
resident, why can't you have a party?
This is kind of
for
our
a friend?
clubhouse
Yeah.
that we can
Well,
use.
I hear you, but I think what you don't want to get into is so-and-so's wedding. I think I personally, I think it's a slippery slope. I think we need to just be aware of that booking an event is a perk that we pay for as taxpayers in the special taxing district.
And I
But
agree, and I
it's gray,
think, but we
but you're
wouldn't
a
have even
member.
known this would have happened had this not been this account,
right.
which has,
Where's the list to send that for the coming?
So,
This is all with lists are up there.
so anyway, if you would allow me to.
Yes,
get this
absolutely.
cleared and
Yes.
I'm going to negotiate with them because.
Perfect.
Cool.
I was just asking for clarification on how we handle it, that's all, I was just curious.
I just got one, little, we have plenty of time, I got one little thing. It was this quick, the air conditioning unit above the kitchen
Oh,
got a major problem with it.
Oh, yeah, I hear it.
It was replaced 5 years ago, and it has a 1-year warranty on, had a 1-year warranty. And it's shot. The air handler is gone, so it's probably an air handler, and to start just replacing that piecemeal is not good, because they put one of the old refrigerant, but you can't now get a permit to replace the air handler. So that will probably likely be coming up for major repair. Also, whoever installed it the way Ray put it. Water's been pouring out of the ceiling due to condensation in the failed drain line and pan. The drain pan was cut to install the air handler. So,
Wow.
and this, yeah. So so it's gonna cost us just $5,000 to repair it now, to get it going. There's also potentially another $3,500 just to clean everything and get it working temporarily. But that's probably online very quickly for repair, and it could be a $30,000 or $40,000.
it sounds like it's about 8,000 to repair it between the cleaning and the
Yeah,
drain.
right now, yeah,
Ouch.
Do we know when that, well,
2001.
I was just curious if you happen to notice in the reserve study when that one.
Oh, that had to have been, that's gotta be another 10 years.
Yeah, those air handlers were,
That should have been that should be a
so we should
15-year
move
thing.
forward with the repair and,
Well, we have no choice, but it's not, it's still,
Yeah.
I would definitely think about putting that to the reserve for next.
thanks for
next
bringing
year.
that up, because every time I walk the dog, there was 2 particular days in a row where it was like, oh, it sounds like something is gonna jump off the top of
Yeah.
the
So, so I guess, I don't know who gets to approve this, Joe or whatever. I don't think it's Ray has estimates, so we don't have I don't have official things to get approved at this point. I'm just bringing it up, so
It'll be under 10
Yeah.
anyway, right?
Yeah.
10 or under?
Is that your
Yeah.
threshold?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the ultimate
yeah,
threshold.
the two of them,
Okay.
yeah,
Repair.
yeah.
Okay,
So
Or
I
you
guess,
take it to jail.
so
For you.
Greg, work with Jill and Ray and figure out what the best price we can get on getting that fixed for now, and hope. But before we actually do, let's just make sure it's really gonna last another year or two, because if the repair's only gonna get us 6 months.
Oh.
oh, yeah,
I wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't do it.
That's what we need to, that's the only thing I have to
Get us 10
verify.
years.
It should.
So we need to make sure it's gonna last a few years to get us at least the next summer.
Okay.
Or next winter, I mean, so we can
Yeah,
get through the summer, but if we can't go through the summer, it doesn't make any sense to spend this money.
Okay.
No, but I don't know.
Yeah,
why-
so I don't know how, I don't know how, I don't know how who approved the one-year warranty system for $30,000 in 2001.
That's
no,
gonna be an operating
Changes.
expense.
Right,
And then
Well,
we changed the refrigerants, use the old refrigerant.
right.
Wait, 2001 or 2021?
2021,
I'm sorry.
okay.
2021.
Okay.
Interesting.
So, whoever advised the board gave them very, very bad advice.
I think Ken and I were on facilities
I
now.
don't think I can.
I was.
I don't even know if they would come from facilities, but that come from facilities at the time, Ken?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Ken and I were on facilities together when we were talking about air conditioning, remember?
No.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, you were. For about 8 months.
But somebody may have,
It was so rewarding.
somebody may have done a switch, to get the price down after you guys, I don't know.
Weird.
I was on the board. Could've been
We could do that. Do you want to?
I would prefer to address it. I don't know how
I
you
will
would feel.
also, what?
Yeah, sure.
So I just wanted to talk about the fact that, I think that our committees need to be reminded that they should not be doing public posts about Venetian business because they are appointed by this board to represent and liaison to the board and have an opportunity to discuss issues with the board, not in public. And I think that's why I would never post on a public website. And I think that the people we appoint should also not do that. So
Well, the subject is sunshine law.
Absolutely.
That's what I was thinking
That's the
too.
problem.
this is completely inappropriate under sunshine law.
It's a sunshine violation.
It's a sunshine violation.
It depends upon what they're talking about, isn't it?
Well, they're appointed as, well, that's a good question.
Because the person on the finance committee could talk to a person on the reserve committee,
Right.
and could talk to the landscape committee, so the only thing you really can't talk about is facility stuff to a facilities member or
Well, then my-
social dining member,
If
but
it's
if,
so many business.
but if a social dining member wants to make a complaint about the facilities publicly, they can do that, there's no.
Yes.
No, it's,
But
They're-
but that's a
they're
different, but that's a different, so sunshine is different from what you're
Well,
saying, and I agree with what you're saying.
I'm gonna add, because I think that's the same one that I saw.
Me
My
too.
problem with that particular post is that it was inappropriate for general reasons, referring very negatively to management and to the way the club is being run. And I think that committee members serve at the pleasure of the board. And I think there's also a measure of decorum that we expect. And I don't think we should have committee members on social media slagging off us as a board or club management. Now, if they want to not be committee members, as far as I'm concerned, they have a First Amendment, well, they do have a First Amendment right to say whatever they want to say. But to me, those two things are in opposition to each other.
There's also code of conduct overall, professional code of
I
conduct,
agree.
professionalism,
Yeah.
and what is appropriate and what is not appropriate. And to me, that broke every standard of professional code of conduct. It was,
See,
and that's just me. I mean, that's not the place to spew the laundry.
I heard about it.
That's
I
very
heard-
passive aggressive
I
in my
heard about,
mind.
I heard about it, I haven't seen
It's
it.
bad.
I
It's
haven't
bad.
seen it. I'm not-
It's bad.
I
I saw it.
I don't do Facebook.
Well, here's what I
I
would say.
saw it and went, what the heck?
Is that I think that the committee member is given a choice. Either you want to do this or you want to be on the committee. But to me, if the board does nothing, then the board condones.
That's gonna.
I think it's totally inappropriate behavior.
People have a right to comment.
Yeah, I'm on both sides of it. I understand exactly what you're saying, and I don't think that, from what I heard about the post, I don't think it was
Well,
right.
let me put it this way. I would be, if I had seen that, before I voted to put the person back on the committee, I would have voted no. Let's put it that way. Because I think that committee members do carry some weight and deal directly with management, and I think depending on the nature of the post, I think it creates issues, and I don't think that we should be, as a board, I think we're trying to move together, not always together, but I think we need to be expecting a certain level of professionalism. And that was not professional.
I don't disagree with the way it was written, I mean, from what I heard, but you also can, you also don't want a bunch of yes people who are just sitting here saying yes, 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 you want to be able to have the sense.
Disagree.
I mean,
So the
that's
question
not
is-
what I'm saying,
So the
yeah.
question is, when does,
Right, and
you're now
saying.
delving into the weeds of
Yeah.
what's.
I believe in multiple opinions. I believe in,
Yes.
I just had a conversation with someone this week who we had a very big disagreement. And what we said is, we agree to disagree. We still talk, we still support each other. And I think the issue is just how it's handled. And I think that, especially on a committee, you have access to the board individually. The board you can have that discussion with the board, but to have that discussion in a public forum, that kind of impugns our ability to manage the club.
Yes, it
I-
does.
You know what, and it's kind of like, then people, we're working on it, right? These guys are new, we're working through it. And I just think that, I agree with Cindy, what she said. I mean, we appoint these people to represent and work with us as a board. And I almost felt like this was working against us, like I'm gonna go tell on you because you're doing something bad.
I'm gonna tell everybody you're doing something bad.
Yeah,
Right.
That's what this is.
That's how it felt.
And
That's exactly how
I think if the
felt
board
to me.
does nothing, the board is weak.
I think, I am perfectly okay with different opinions and everything like that. But I think what we need to do first and foremost is support Hampton. They have been here for, barely 6 months, and there's a lot that they have been trying to overcome. And so we're working through different opportunities, different options for doing things, and to come out there, to me, this was another slight against Hampton and the way they're doing their job, and they're not good enough. And this is why we've been through so many different, and I know I'm gonna get on a rant here, I'm sorry, so many different management companies and so many different general managers, is because we have people in this community who have continually demeaned everybody that we have brought on board for one reason or another. And that to me is unacceptable. And as a board, we need to show our support. You and I both voted for Bobby Jones, and we said, we're switching our vote because we want to have a united front. We want to show that we're going to support Hampton. And that's exactly what this needs to be. And these types of public posts to me are absolutely freedom of speech, whatever. And it was unacceptable to do. In my
Yeah,
two
but,
cents.
so here's what happens. Okay, so he's gonna quit the post as a board, he's gonna quit, even though they kicked off, or he'll quit and still post. So you're not solving the problem. He still has access to the committee, he can still reach out to any board member he wants to.
Sure, but he's
So-
not gonna have that influence if he decides to not be on a committee anymore.
But what influence does a person have in facilities or social dining have to do with anything that happens in landscaping, as an example? Nothing. So if somebody on a committee doesn't like landscaping, it does, just because I have access to the board, facilities doesn't have any more control over Cheryl and landscaping than Ken does with reserves. I understand what you're trying to say, and for what I know the tone was not great,
That's understandable.
but the sentiment is you can't stop people from commenting. I just think.
Of course you can.
No question about that, and we wouldn't want to do that. It's just that, we are trying so hard to do everything we can. I mean,
I just don't think you could, I mean,
Well, maybe it's a
So-
maybe it's a personal opinion thing that again, I have to say, if I had the vote to do over again in whenever it was December or November, December, when we voted to put people on, I would vote no. I wish I could go back and take it back. And maybe it comes down to personal opinion, so.
And maybe it's the board liaison, I mean,
You
if
can
this.
take it back.
You can.
We can remove people from any committee.
No, I know, I'm just stating my opinion, so.
Maybe
Well,
at this
I don't-
point, sorry, at this point, I would just say, if this was my committee chair, I would have a conversation with them. And say, this is not cool. This is not, if you have an issue, you need to talk to me. We need to work together. But you did.
yeah, but the problem is, it's not a facilities committee issue.
It's not a
But that's
sunshine law
okay.
violation.
It's
No,
not,
it's not.
no, it's not a sunshine law
And it's not-
violation. It's a decorum issue. It's a, you know what, we appointed you to this committee. If it was my committee chair for landscaping, I would say, and he was complaining about something that happened on reserve committee publicly, I would say, hey, that's really not the way you should handle this. The way you should handle this is come to me or go to Ken.
Right.
Why,
And
wait
make
a
sure
minute.
that is
Why,
addressed.
why is this different from the letter the same person wrote to this board about how this board conducted itself over the last 5 years?
it's not,
It isn't,
it's not.
It didn't come to me. That didn't come. So, and I just take it from whence it comes.
It's a public.
Not everybody knows.
That's
knows
So
that.
what you're saying is, Ken, we're burning too many calories on it because
Yeah.
he's unimportant.
Yes.
I mean,
He is
Well, I think
unimportant.
that if Rich has had the conversation with
I'm
him,
fine with that.
let's see what
Okay.
happens.
I'm
see
good
where
with
it goes.
that.
Thank
I'm
you.
good with that. Thank you, Rich.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Do we want to take a break or do we want to look at this? We can't get into the survey in 9 minutes. Do we want to take a break?
You got 9 minutes?
we can start,
we should.
we can start.
Okay.
It's 9 minutes less.
We do have that.
Yeah, and apparently it's gonna take me 3 hours to get to 10.
Yeah, geez.
It's gonna take you 2.5 to get just out of
That's-
Sarasota County.
Sit down, put the work on their cell phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Stalls.
So, well, maybe logistically then, I can just give you all the letter, the cover letter we did last year in case,
Yes.
in case you wanted to look at it.
Yeah, okay. Look,
You know, I think we had this sent out. There's some logistical pieces that also have to happen. I'm just kicking this off. Peter McCarty from the firm, great.
Thank you.
I would shorten this.
I got it. He got it.
Okay, cool.
I would just figure out how to shorten this letter.
Sure. Yeah, no problem. I can work on that.
That was my, that would be,
Yeah. Well, and I'm on that bandwagon on
and there's just so many,
the survey.
there's so many emails.
After the first paragraph.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So, okay, so we can shorten it. Yeah, speaking of which, somebody we know all and love had sent me a really interesting blurb from AI about how to shorten the survey, which I thought was sort of interesting.
Really
But
want to
does
step
anybody
over here
want
so I
to
can-
dive in? Or
You're on
do
camera
first?
right there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're right.
Blurb from AI and how to shorten it.
For example, there are a number of places where we talk about cleanliness of this and cleanliness of that. We talk, for example, about with staff, we talk about, and other things. We talk about, or food, quality of service, presentation. It was quality presentation and something else. You know, do we combine those into one question? You know, for example, in La Sala, you know, responsiveness of bartenders, professionalism of bartenders, responsiveness of wait staff, professionalism of wait staff, timeliness of service, you know, can we combine those?
I think we should.
And, because we can actually get rid of a lot of questions if we do that.
That would be great.
Management of club facilities, management of club operations, management of club policies. Yeah.
I agree.
Yes.
Because we do
Yes.
have,
That's the
and
most
every,
frustrating part of the survey.
every question we do have where you can add in. So if you have a comment about service, then you can, whether it was timeliness, quality, or presentation, you can say, you know,
I don't know, I think the Tiki Bar, I mean, La Sala maybe, but I think the Tiki Bar is so different than,
Well, and we
Being
could leave
guided.
it in, I'm just saying, in a number of places, there might be,
Right.
there might be sections that we could,
Reduce.
slim them
I think
down.
It gets back to, what did you do with the information?
Yeah.
What are you trying
Well,
to get out of
last
the
year,
survey?
absolutely nothing.
And the year before that.
So do we just want to dive in? I mean, I don't think we want to change, the key items that cover demographics, gender, age, years of residence, children, months that you're here. I do think we should go by month. I think there's
Yeah.
value in
Okay.
asking for
Definitely.
months.
I just
Um,
want to just ask if people have any changes they want to make.
Sure, we could do that.
I didn't have any.
You did. Did you have that?
Just trying to shorten the
Shorter would be
conversation.
better. So I think, I like that AI comment about
Yeah,
not all of them have to have, and
okay.
yeah, if you want to leave tiki bar, that's fine, to leave it wide open, and there's a comment section on every one.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of comments.
Okay.
On page 4, we call it cleanliness of weight and cardio area. One place we call it the gym, then it's fitness, we gotta be consistent with the names.
See, and I see the gym and the fitness center as two different things.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying, cleanliness of the exercise room. What's the exercise? We call it the fitness room, but up someplace else.
The
it's called
terminologies.
The terminology is all
Mhm.
screwed up, so, and then fitness reservation system, it should be a fitness class reservation system, just so people understand exactly what they're signing up for, that's page 4.
I don't have any page numbers on mine.
Is there a question?
There's no question numbers. It's it's under how.
Is it please evaluate the fitness
Fitness
area?
area, yes. So it should be cleanliness and cleanliness of the, instead of weight and cardio area, it should be the gym. Cleanliness of the exercise room. where it
No,
should be-
No.
it should be fitness center versus fitness studio. So
But everybody calls it the gym.
but if you take a look at all the terminology that's used
Okay,
on the,
then that's fine, but
Yeah.
then that's,
Yeah.
but we just
Well,
need
I
to.
think this is very clear. Cleanliness of weight and cardio areas where the fitness equipment is in the fitness center, cleanliness of
Okay,
exercise room.
all right. I just wanted to just be consistent with the terminology.
I do think we need to, the next question after that is how many days per month do you use the lockers and the showers? And we didn't allow people to answer 0.
And I would also say while using
But
the,
wait a minute, hang on, but we have to fix that
Yeah.
question.
Yes.
So I think, do you use, and then if you
Correct.
do, it
Yeah,
can take you to the question.
and I would say while using the exercise pool fitness facilities, so, just so people understand, what they're signing for. I mean, that was, you don't have to add that, I don't care.
When exercise,
When exercising, yes.
okay.
Then we have the
So
question.
in other words, you're getting at people storing their mahjong sets there.
Yes, as opposed to,
Yeah.
exactly, as opposed to,
Jill?
one of the,
Is it 9:30?
2 minutes, okay,
Does anybody need a break? We're good.
I can use a break.
okay, okay.
Okay, all right, so I'll mark
We'll
where
come
we
back to
were.
this. Yep.
Okay, I'll mark where we're, yeah, I may have a couple. Thank you,
Yeah.
Rich, that's helpful.
Hey, Baron, how are you? How you doing?
I feel like I'm
Hour and
so
15 minutes.
old.